well, of course, your professional background. That would be lovely, Rob. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I have a I have a banking back. I come from a banking background. I worked for, I was a local branch manager, and then ended up being an area supervisor at times, and so in the banking industry. So money and finance were kind of, not really a big thing getting into crypto for me. I had kind of been in that market for a while and had done some other things, but finance was primarily my entire backing and background. We uh, so and I had played stocks for a long time. I was one of the stock guys, and I was I played some options and even played some futures for a while and did some things, and some commodities markets. So different. I had an understanding of how the market goes, but of course, when you get into crypto, you can set a lot of that aside. So it really is a different. And my son, who's 30, I know I don't look it, but I have a 30-year-old son, and he asked me, "Hey, Dad, you ever played with that Dogecoin thing?" And I said, "Nah, I looked at Bitcoin a while back." And by the way, when I looked at Bitcoin, it was $75. So it tells you how ignorant I am, right? Yeah, I know. I don't like to bring it up. But so I started looking, and that was about that was the first year in Doge was I was aught 4, aught 4.2 at the time, and so I picked up a small bag of Doge, and I didn't overload, and do all the things, and I bought some ETH. I really like Ethereum, and I like Solana, and those are still my go-tos, so not Doge, but Solana and the Ethereum. And so I got into crypto, introduced crypto that way, and of course I'm I'm a pretty quick study, I think, but I got taught some hard lessons pretty quick too. And that was, this is not regulated. It is decentralized finance. It's not fiat currency. That's none of the things that we're used to doing. We're not governed by any one government or body. So I hooked at that around that point. After I made quite a bit of money on SHIB, as embarrassed as I am to tell you about it, I really did. So I made the first run up and made a big bag, and I got out at the very top, and I got a little attention for it. So because it looked like a brilliant play when really all it was a gut feeling. It wasn't that brilliant. It was just a gut feeling. So I met Nicole and Carl around that time, and they were playing crypto, and we were in another project together. And just as investors and moderators, we were just shilling our own bag basically. And it was going well. And then that project had to kind of regroup and pull out, and we kind of got to get out. We knew it was coming, but it still was kind of painful. And then we regrouped somewhere else too, and then ultimately got involved where we took some leadership roles in the project, and some young guys were in going. It was we thought great investment, great opportunity, and we got lots of people involved, and we shilled and brought in investors and the whole thing. And then ultimately they panicked. They had a bot come in, and the bot made them panic. They were young kids, young guys, smart, educated, but just not really crypto savvy. And so they sold their bags right at launch. And Nicole, Carl, and I were sitting left holding the bag. Uh, I held a large bag. I had an $8,200 bag, which is not extreme, but still painful. And when I sold finally, I tried to get everybody out ahead of me. And so when I finally sold my $8,200 bag, it was $86. So, but I got Nicole out and Carl, and then we had met Eric, who's our COO. And so I got all those people out, and and really I spent the next few days kind of devastated, that like, if this can happen to me and to us, and we felt we were crypto savvy, what does the average novice or average investor, what kind of chance did they have? And the answer was zero. So that began RugSeekers right then. And I sat down privately. I didn't even reach out to Nicole or Carl at first. I sat down privately and pulled the last 20 or 30 contracts that I knew were garbage. They're not hard to find, And then I pulled the last 20 or 30 I thought were really good, that were having success, that had good, solid teams and all those things. And I compared them, and I collectively made this system we have today, which is our scoring assessment. And then I reached out to Nicole first, and then to Carl, and we put the team together. And no talks of a project, no talks of a coin or a token, anything like that. We just wanted to help people, and we started doing that, and we were getting popular, and we were paying for it out of our pocket. We're still investors, so we had, we still had investments and still had things, but these people have millions, and we had thousands. So it became apparent we would help people, and they would say, we originally launched saying we're just going to do this, and if you want to pay us a little something for helping you, you can. About 2 weeks into it, we saved a I'm not going to out him or dox him. We saved a very well-known guy in the space, uh, upper five figures in a bad investment. Pulled him out just in the nick of time. I mean, within hours of it rugging. And when he parted us, he said thank you. So we knew then we weren't going to get any love for what we were doing. So it became evident we were going to have to do another avenue. And people started asking us, hey, why don't you guys? We would help people and save them money, and they would say, can we pay you? And at that point, we had said no. We had agreed not to take money from the public. So they would say, well, why don't you let me buy your token? And we would say, well, we don't have a token. So at that point, we devised a way to kind of put making it, the token ends for a means for us. So that's kind of our story up to launch anyway. Around that point. So
That sounds brilliant, inspiring too. I think we've all been there. I
yeah,
mean, if you've been in DeFi for more than, I'd say, even a month, and you like to invest in different projects, we've all gotten rugged, we've all gotten honeypotted. It happens. That's why I support your project so much, and that's what we do here at AMA Central too. We literally vet every single project that comes through us. We vet it in detail. We look at the contract. We look at how the contract is written, and we make sure that our investors stay safe. Compared to other groups around that literally get the beans and don't care about their investors and the safety of them. We
right.
care a lot, we don't go for the money anymore right now. We're going a
Right.
lot for vibes. We're going a lot for contracts, holders too. We look at, because sometimes you can get slow rugs too, and you don't even
Oh, sure.
realize.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got big 5, 6, 10 big wallets, probably even from the team that are selling, and it is impossible to bring it back up. So
Yeah.
that's brilliant, Rob. That was a great self-introduction. It is no doubt how professional you guys are, and how transparent you are in the space. You
Right.
are the kind of people we like to hang around
Right.
with. Um, Now, Rob, I wanted to get into detail as in RugSeekers. If you want to make an introduction of the project to our investors, kind of just sell the project to them, but also get into a little technical analysis of,
Sure.
What is RugSeeker bringing to the space?
Right. Well, obviously there was a need for us. There was. We're not. Listen, we didn't write the book on anti-scam, right? So, but when we started in June, the end of June, there weren't many around. There were a few that were doing it, and what we noticed is that there were scanners everywhere. They were getting popular. People were scanning everything, and I thought this is very static, and it doesn't take anything into consideration except for just data, and that there's so much more to this than data. And so my people kind of reading skills and things started itching, and so I wanted to get in the face of some of these people and talk one on one and say, hey, let me talk to you about your project if you don't mind. I'm with RugSeekers and we're trying to do this. So the element of being different, sometimes in DeFi, right? Different it means run. So if there's change, it means probably go away. But we wanted to stand out and be different than what we were seeing, because what we were seeing simply wasn't working. The rugs were getting bigger, the more honeypots. They were now combining honeypots and rugs together, and the honey rug as we speak. I mean, it's crazy. So we wanted to bring something that was completely different and outside the box to the space, and that's why our scoring system started, the risk assessment started, and there were certain things that if you don't want to dox, that's great. That's going to cost you some points. Now I'm not saying that every project should dox, or there may be a situation, but you're going to have to at least KYC or privately dox, and let us hold your docs through a bonding, even, where we guarantee you through an NDA or a bond that we're not going to release your docs anywhere unless you're corrupt. And if you're corrupt, we're putting you on CNN if we can. So, and I began very quickly by saying, yes, I'm Rob 825, but my name is Robert Browning. I live in Southern Indiana. You can drive to my driveway if you'd like. That I can hold you to a standard that I wasn't prepared to hold myself. But I also have two investigators that I wasn't comfortable with them being totally doxxed, because I hold their docs, and we have several people outside the project that do, but they also are in harm's way. I get death threats constantly. I get, they're going to, even to harm my family, burn my house. It's just, you wouldn't believe the lengths they'll go to try to stop you. And I'm not stopping. I mean, they should give up. Plus, if you're going to threaten me, you have to have a tougher name than, the Buckhorn Bandit. So it's just, and that's a true story. I wish that weren't a true story, but that's a true story. So, but we entered this with the mindset of we were going to be different and stand out and go the extra length. So the human factor in this we find indispensable. If we can't talk to a human being behind the project, it's not vetted. And I mean, I need to talk to you about, because listen, I've seen perfectly great contracts rug. I've seen perfectly terrible contracts do well. So what's the factor? The variable is the human, the person behind it. So if you could remove the human factor, we could call every project to the T of what it can be or will be. And so our thing wasn't to say, we don't throw the words around a lot like rug pull or honeypot or scam. We say, there's a risk here. Now we know it's DeFi, so there's always a risk. So we're saying the variable that there is always a risk being the curve. We're saying this is an extremely high risk by our standards. And then we point out the things in that contract or in the dev team that stand out as of us saying, this is why. We're not saying it's a rug. All we're saying is that if they would like to make it a rug, they've set it up perfectly. Like you just said, if I see 5 wallets with 75% of the supply, it's not very hard to call what that is. But still at the same time, we'd like to take the factor out. So not just being the us being just a standard of the mill, your regular SAFU, honeypot.io, type, which are great programs, by the way. We wanted to stand out. So what we did was said, listen, we kept hearing this ring, this buzz about, oh, it's the Wild West right now. It's the Wild West. So we said, great. If they want the Wild West, let's give it to them. So when we wrote the coin, I put in a 1% wallet, and we call that our bounty seeker or scam seeker wallet. We're in that. If you're anybody, I don't care who you are. I've even had devs turn other devs in. If you drop me off on my website of a contract number and or the name, or even if it's an influencer, now we will take those too. And if they're corrupt and it's in the infancy, we put you in a lottery, and at the end of the month, twice a month actually, we draw out of that lottery, out of that wallet, and we're going to pay you to turn these people in. Last week we paid $7,000 hard cold cash, to 2 people. So $3,500 a piece just to turn in people in the space. And I got to tell you, that $3,500 is probably the best money we've ever spent. We probably save people millions of dollars based on that $3,500. So that's what sets us apart as far as being a project. We're the first people that we know of that actually pay a bounty, put a price on their head, so to speak. If you want to turn them in, we'll pay you for it, and put you in a pool. And then what was different with us too also is that we wanted to stay completely and totally transparent, 100% above board, 24/7. I don't sleep much, never have. It's just, and probably because I'm nosy, if I'm honest, I'm afraid I'll miss something. But that works good for our project because, I'm 20 hours a day, basically, I'm available. And you come into our room, you get the CEO. You come into our room, you talk to, if you want to know about marketing, you don't talk to a mod, you talk to the CMO. She's there a lot. If you want to talk about our technical stuff coming, or with the scanners that we already have, and then some of the stuff we're developing for the future, then you can talk to our CTO. There's no buffers between us. You want to talk about operations, if you think you can make a suggestion that helps our operation, then talk to Eric, our COO. We want to be upfront, right there in the face of everybody. The worst thing in the world is going to a room and not finding a dev for the first 3 days you go. And so we wanted to take that out of the equation. And we did pick up some partnerships, some teams along the way, and develop some things within an ecosystem, and our ecosystem, whatever you want to call it. I say it both ways, drives my guys crazy. But we do that because, sharing information is valuable. This doesn't feel like a competition to us between any other project or any other people. We're in that we'll share with Rise Up and us have shared things before. There's several different, Coin Sniper. I mean, I could go on and on with the people that do that. And as we grow, and we've been around for a while, so the newer companies that are getting in reach out to us a great deal, and we always want to help, and share information collectively. But launching the coin, the tokenomics were very user friendly. Now we reflect 8%. Right now we're reflecting 8% of our own coin back. The tokenomics are 15 in, 15 out. They were 16 out, but we changed that, lowered it down. So, and then 5% of that is, of course, or 8% is reflection, and we have 3% liquidity, 2% rebuy and liquidity burn. And so by the time you get down, and then just a 1% marketing, 1% scam seeker wallet. So it's a very, very investor friendly, our tokenomics. And so yes, there's a 15% tax, but immediately you get 8% of that back going in and out. So we have a basic 7% tax if you look at it, that way. And 5 of that is liquidity. So our liquidity is locked, 100% locked. And our wallets, dev wallets, are locked. We have those, and they're on our website to be looked at and shared for anybody to see, go in and see. Because we say a lot. I believe about half of what I hear, and about half of what I see. So if I hear something, I need to verify it. And so we want you to do the same thing. Hold us accountable. Our wallets, we posted our marketing wallets, all of our wallet addresses everywhere, so that we want the public to know that this is the way you're supposed to do it. But our hopes were, Vincent, that we know regulation's coming, and we embrace it. We're not those that are hiding behind it and being naive that it's not coming. We also know that when regulation does come, where they're coming. They're coming to the people that are self-regulating. We would love to be with a group of people, that tip of that spear, the people that they say when they come in and say, how would you suggest we rope up this uncontrollable whale that you've got loose? It's called cryptocurrency. And we have some ideas of how regulation will come. It's not going to come at the form of Trust Wallet or Binance, or it's not. It's going to come with the blockchain, the verification process. They'll regulate through slowing the verification process down, and that's what saved XRP $700 million. So $600 million. So you can imagine that's proven that it works. So that's what they'll do. And we just want to be a part of that conversation is all, and say that we've been trying to keep the space clean and doing some things here. And we've had a successful, we really, and I've said this, and my investors always get nervous. They tell me to quit saying it, but I just can't. The coin was never, the token was never really a thing for me. It's a means to the end, but it's really secondary to the mission for me. And I know that makes investors go, oh, are you kidding me? I invested. Well, yeah, your investment's important. So are you. But if the mission grows, the token will be fine. So if I take care of the mission first, and that is my priority, I don't spend a great deal of time with, like Nicole does, with marketing and reaching out. This was all done without a conversation with me, because I trust the people, that I have doing those things, like Nicole. She's great, so I trust that that's what she does. And it gives me time to get out in contracts and in TG rooms and raids and things, and say, hey, look, here's the bad guys. So because of the project and the mission are separate, and the mission is most important, it's made the coin kind of do some things that we didn't expect it to do in the first 60 days. We're over a couple $1 million market cap. We've had a couple setbacks, but I mean, it's a very healthy chart. It's up and down, and we'll take it. From where we are, we're 8-9x from launch. And for a new coin that did really no pre-launch marketing, just word of mouth, and we haven't paid an influencer yet, so we've kept it really clean. And people like you, we want to go to people that are common, that do what we do in the space. I don't want to go to, and I'm not going to say any names, but the big loud guys on Twitter, the big loud guys on because they're part of the problem to us. They pump the same 10 coins a week, and they all look identical. They've got a porn, a Floki, or a something in the name, NU, but you name it, it's in there. And so we kind of keep that as a distance as we can. If it works for other projects, we say great. It just doesn't work for us. And we're supposed to be the standard bearer. We're supposed to be the guys that people look to be safe and to be kind of the trendsetter. So if we're doing those things, you're not above reproach anymore. And one thing that's very important that I want to express to everybody, that you can't pay me to vet a project. You couldn't give me 10 BNB to check a contract or to vet your project. It will not happen. You can't pay anyone on my team. If one of my team took payment for vetting, they would be removed immediately. We can't stay above reproach in this space if I'm getting paid by the people I'm checking. And so right from the beginning, that became rule number 1 for us, is that you may not ever pay us to vet. It can't happen. We don't make NFTs for you. We're not you can't pay us for advertising. You can't pay for a banner. You cannot exchange money with me if I'm looking at your project. So people say, really, you take nothing? Even people that we vet for say, you want nothing for this. No, I want nothing. So what's the catch? I always hear, what's the fall here? Well, hopefully I'll find out that you're okay, and we can make you a nice banner and you can put it out. And hopefully enough people start seeing the RugSeekers seal, and they say, okay, these guys actually stand for something. And knowing that we're human, and the process is always digital and human mix, and there's going to be something slipped through the wire. I can tell you, I know of 3 projects that we have called to be, at least safe for investment, or lower risk, and they've had devs come in and backdoor and change code, and even docs devs. So we always say the human factor is unpredictable, but it's no excuse. We still want to raise the bar even more. So that changed my first couple of questions. Who holds the key to your contract? Who is your wallet holder? I mean, what contract, what wallet controls this contract? Because that slipped through a couple of times and people got hurt. I can tell you that, not bragging, but just because we're so diligent, that every project, any project we've called a scam, or called, we don't say scam, have called very high assessment, or to avoid 100%, has wound up being just exactly what we called it. Somewhere you don't want to be. Squid Games being the last, we took a lot of heat for Squid Games. I was threatened. I was cussed. People said they had millions of dollars and they're going to run me out of the space. And, we called that a honeypot a week in advance. I even reached out to a news agency that we're very close with and said, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but CNBC just posted on their Instagram that Squid Games is a solid crypto project. And they said, are you kidding me? And they took it off and run with it. And before I know it, it went down. So that's what we want to do, is to say, mini football. If anybody remembers mini football, I took so much grief for mini football. Nobody would listen to me. I mean, if y'all remember, it was the drunk Scotsman who was on every day during the morning drunk, and he had palm trees behind him talking about he was off the coast of Scotland. And I was like, excuse me, I don't know much about history, but I don't think that you're known for coconuts in Scotland. And it just, so when they rugged, it was, we don't take any pride in that, but we are, it did gain us some respect and some traction. And, and the same people, I got to tell you, had that dev come to me after and said, I want to, I need help, I would have helped him. Yeah, I can't tell you I wouldn't. I mean, if the same people that have called us out and threatened us have come to us later and I've helped them, I think you have to be who you say you are in this space. And I'd rather everybody here hate me for what I am than some one person love me for something I'm not. It's just not that important. I mean, it's easy. It's not easy, but it's easy enough to make money that you don't have to be dishonest to do it.
100%. One thing that I wanted to point out, well, I mean, it is clear that your tasks have been accomplished super well, and we need more people like you in the space. I'm not gonna lie, we still get scams on daily. Platforms are not helping. We here at AMA Central support a couple projects that are trying to change the space. Since we have PooCoin that doesn't filter anything, it is so easy to filter. You have a honeypot function. You don't list on PooCoin, and you don't get the chart up. Just as simple as that. But they won't do it. Why? Because they still get people in, and that's what they care. They care about attention. They care about clicks, and they care about their damn banners that look terrible, but still get paid 1 BTC for 20,000 clicks. And it's like, wow, not even 20,000. I think last campaign I did was 8,000 clicks, 1 BTC. And I was like, damn, boy.
That's expensive.
So we work alongside with projects like Londex, Doe, that are building platforms that don't allow these kinds of contracts to list. It's just as simple as that. Now, you are doing a very, very big part in this, and we love having you because of that. We don't vouch for scammers. We don't like them to be around. And if they wouldn't exist, we would all be richer, happier, and a lot more loving in this space. That's for sure. One thing I wanted to mention, though, not to break it to you, I love the fact that you're being so generous to the space, but we're here to make money, Rob, right? We're here to generate money and to have let's say, platforms that could generate money, unless you just literally want to do this as a charity and keep funding it from
Right.
your own pocket. That might be a thing. I'm not going to judge you for that.
We're good.
What's
Yeah.
the point now? Like, what's the economical situation right now? Like, with your project, as in, are you going to keep funding it? Are you going to try to find ways, because you could monetize so many things from the services that you might offer as well. So what kind of turn do you want to take in this one?
Well, we would kind of like to partner up with people like yourself, okay? That you are like the front, right? The front AMA. You're the first step. You're the maybe a lot of times pre-launch. Sometimes new projects. We've been around for a minute. I mean, we've been here 60 days. That's like that's dog years, in crypto. So we feel like the old man on the block at 60 days. So we would like to hook up, and we have a couple people in standby, and we're just very, very cautious, and not of you by any means, but of people that are approached to do some AMAs and things. We would like to do a follow-up type AMA, like the second step, because I think what happens is, I keep every telegram, every I add people to my contact list because I don't stop after the vetting. I go back after launch. I go back and I look and see, just to let them know that, hey, we're still watching. So don't think we're not. And we've had to call some people out of line, and say, hey, look, this is not what we agreed on, and if you don't straighten it up, we're going to go public with this. So it's that type of thing we want to kind of push, is that post review, because I'm going to tell you, a lot of people that look good at 30 days or 2 weeks, just that slow rug you were talking about, they think they lure people in with time, because most of them scam out in 5 days. So they get to that 5-10 day window and they think, okay, now we can start scamming, and to follow up that way, and to do, and we're asked constantly if we would host AMAs, and we're just not. To me, I mean, Nicole wants to, and the guys want to. I just hate to take time away from scamming, but there is a revenue model here that needs to be addressed, and the token volume obviously helps our revenue. I mean, we generate money, we generate marketing, we generate things through the Scam Seeker wallet that pays a big bounty that enables me to pay people who've lost. We do that a lot. I give coins out, tokens out, a lot to people that have. I can't make them whole, unfortunately, but I can get them back. And it's more to restore a little faith back in humanity than it is to kind of make them even, to say, hey, we're not all like that in this space, so stick around here and let's direct you in the right direction. And while you're here, if you'd like to buy some Seek, I'll give you your first 5,000, or whatever. And so, but Nicole tells me constantly I have to get over the fear, or that feeling, that I don't like to pump our coin. I don't like to say, yes, they're a rug pull, and yes, you just got hurt, but by the way, we have a project. And she said there's no shame in self promotion, but I just always feel like I need a bath. So but I do get that. And for investors, from an investor standpoint, put on that hat for a second for you. This project is a sleeping giant, really. It really is. I mean, once this bounty program gets out, I can tell you this, that we're about to be in a big feature, and it's going to be international, global. It's with Bloomberg News. They spent 5 weeks investigating or interviewing. They came to my house here and spent the whole day with me and Eric. Eric lives close by, and they wrote an expose on RugSeekers and all the things we're talking about here, but in extreme detail. They interviewed all my team. They interviewed people outside the team, investors. They interviewed people from Dior Token, who was our sister token, and got put all that together. So they interviewed, and they wanted to reach out to other people as well. So that will be out virtually anytime. We were given a date, and then I accidentally told that date, and that when it didn't come that date, because the media is arbitrary, they can do what they see fit. They're not following what we say or think. So they changed it because they wanted to kind of kick the article up a little bit, because in their words, the girl that wrote it said it was some of her best work. So I thought, well, take all the time you need, but that's going to generate a lot of traffic. That's a different type of investor. That's the more money minded, not the win boy type of, win Lambo type of mentality to get into the game. And so we're going to get a lot of that traffic. So from an investor standpoint, that revenue model will be that. Also, I'm big on giving and things, and we are launching another project that is a charity, and it's a charity for veterans and the children of fallen law enforcement and first responders. It's get a lot of traction. It's going to be really huge, and that, when we couple that with this, is going to be kind of our way of saying we're cleaning up crypto on the inside with RugSeekers and our network and our ecosystem. And then also we have this other token that and I won't mention it for the plug value, but that we're launching this other token, and that's giving us a good face and a good on the outside. It's cleaning up crypto's image outside the space. So those things are tied together, and we think it's going to be bigger than Betty Crocker. I mean, it's the attention it's already got. We've got 2,000 BNB already collected for. It's crazy. It's just really, and blows me away.
That sounds great. I do believe that, a big pump, since you don't like to hear it, a big pump is imminent for your token. It's going to happen sometime soon. I'm 100% positive on that. As you said, you're still, you're still up compared to the launch price, which is great. You're keeping a nice price floor, which I love. One thing I wanted to point out, Rob, sorry to tell you this live, but I do have all of my charts here, and I do take a look. I don't know if it's someone or it's the contract. There is something selling 10 billion, 200 million tokens constantly.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
That's our auto liquidity.
Okay.
That's our auto liquidity. Yeah, that's our deployer. What that's doing, it's buying our reflection and buying our.
Okay.
It does it. And let me tell you something. It drives me crazy. I've actually gotten numb to it. But at the beginning, when on day one of launch, it was buying far less, of course, because it's based on volume. But yeah, it buys 10.2, and back then it bought 8,400. Is where it started. So that tells you how much it's grown. But it did it at every. Our reflections based on sale. So we don't. The reflections generate during purchase and sale, but they're not reflected out or paid out until something sells. So we have to trigger our first your first reflection with Seek, you have to make a sale or a buy 24 hours after your first purchase. So it's usually 10 tokens, 20 tokens, whatever. It's less than a penny. You'll pay more than gas than you do for the tokens, but that triggers the reflection, and the contract's the same way. It buys constantly the 10. Yeah, I know it looks like a bot. And I get a lot of questions about this.
I actually thought it was, you know what I thought? I thought it was someone, fucking around with you for the fact that you bothered them or something.
Yeah.
Got you, mate. Yeah, that's all right. Since you said that, there are some people threatening around. I was like, I'm sure this guy's just. Nah, that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to point it out. Very good to explain that, so that people that invest now don't panic sell.
Yeah, it's not. It's our auto liquidity, and I love the contract. We're the first contract that I know of. Well, I know we're the first contract to ever have it exclusively, and to my knowledge, it's not been released since. But we have a bot blocker 5,000 installed in our network, and I can tell you at launch we had no snipe, no bot, not even a 30. I have one bot in the whole project, and it's 35 cents, and it's trapped. It can't get out. So that we're really good to have that, but unfortunately that made me put a blacklist pause feature in the contract, which nobody ever likes. But we fully doxed, and we're fully transparent about it, up front, saying, hey, this is part of our bot thing. It's not to pause your trading, or and here's my home address to prove I'm serious.
That's right. Yeah, we have no doubts about your transparency, as well as you doxing, telling us everything about yourself. I feel super comfortable about you and about the team too. I think the team is power, and I agree with that. You guys know what you're doing. You've been in the space for a while. You know how to give this a really, really nice turn, as in, right now you're developing, you're getting better, and I am 100% sure that as soon as you have everything in place, giving it a bit of a marketing push to bring it back up is going to be super simple for you. I have no doubt. Guys,
Nicole here, I'll tell you, giving you some kudos. Really, this is where Nicole wanted to start. We did our thing with Rebel Traders. We love those guys. We've helped them. They've helped us. It's been great. Did a little, talk about with them, and it was awesome. It was outstanding, and we do love them. But Nicole was like, hey, you gotta get here. You gotta get Travladd. You gotta go. And I was like, hey, I don't. We've talked a couple of times, but I'm busy. So But Nicole has been really, really big on us getting hooked up with you guys. She's really a fan. So
I mean, as I said, we stand by the same exact values and ethics that you guys do, and we try to keep everything clean, professional, and one thing that we do is we keep our community posted and updated, and it's not for the money. When you guys give us news, when you guys will give us interesting things to tell our community, we'll keep updating you. Literally at zero costs because we like your project. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So, updates are going to happen. Guys, for sure, keep us posted on everything that you do because that's going to happen. Our community loves to see projects that bring in transparency and things that we literally need in DeFi. So it's been a great conversation. I'm going to spend the last 20 minutes with questions from our investors. I'm sure they have a lot to ask, and it's going to be a great chat. I'm going to give the open mic to Gem MC. He tried to ask me a question last night, and I didn't get him. Gem, how's it going? Sorry about last night, mate.
Oh, totally cool. Totally cool. Thanks for having me. Hey, Rob, you kind of remind me of a detective yourself. I love investigative shows. Yeah,
that's my brother.
I'm just wondering.
I'm just open.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you guys are planning on ever doing any short films or little docu-series, maybe just short videos you guys can maybe put on your social media, just kind of documenting the in-depth personal human element, investigative stuff, and the digital reviewing, just to kind of just as a form of marketing, but just an interesting video for people to watch.
Yeah, and we absolutely, and great question. I'm glad you did that. I forgot. Nicole would have yelled at me later, but we do a regular a show with DYOR Media Network on YouTube, right, where they have a rugged, ruined, and wrecked segment, and it's usually we're featured because it's some of our stories and some of our endeavors, and tells it kind of gives you the background of what it takes to what we have to do and what we go through to stop a rug pull or to bring one public. But not only that, but he's working with Nicole Tom Striking over at DYOR to develop her YouTube outlet. So we're going to have a YouTube channel and network as well. And Nicole is big. She's an educator. She has a master's degree and she's an educator. And so she's really, really big on education. We support 100% from day one, women in crypto, their movement and educating them. We hate any type of bias against any group. And I think that women in crypto kind of get a bad deal. That they're kind of, a woman goes into a room, asks a question instantly. Oh, it's FUD. No, it's not. It's just a question, So yeah, but Nicole wants to post that the education platform on our YouTube and link it, of course, to our website. And I can give you a little peek at something. We partnered up with TGC, TCG2, excuse me, and they have a metaverse. They're a $100 million market cap project. They've got some huge partnerships they're working on now. They have a metaverse going, and they're actually giving us a room in their town square, in their metaverse to use as our classroom. So you could actually enter the metaverse, come in, report a scam, or take a tutorial, and where Nicole could teach, or Eric could teach, or myself, and to say, this is how the BCS works, or BSC works. This is how you read a BSC. This is what this 32-digit number you see, this is what it stands for, and how you follow it. And this is, it's like, you were talking about PooCoin a while ago, Benson, and, something as simple as a code, like, the code that they start with, right? If you look at the contract under very first page on the BSC, and it says, say it says RugSeekers, right? And then under it has a code you started with, and that code starts V.0. something. If it starts V.0.5 or below, it's a honeypot. So stop listing those. It's real simple. If they just did that much, if there's no reason to use a version under 5 unless you're a honeypot, no reason on earth. So if you just block that, you could stop 60% of all the honeypots. So it's those simple things that people don't know that we're trying to get out there, because education is so important. to this, you know. And Nicole is really, really big on education. You know, I honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't see where I would ever have time to sit down and teach 3 hours a day because I'm in the ditch, you know. But Nicole certainly wants to make that more of a full-time thing for her, you know, to sit and do and teach people, you know, all people, not just women, but we want to, you know, get that out to everybody, you know.
That definitely answers it all. Jem, is that okay for you? Is that a good answer? Jem probably fell asleep in the meantime, Rob.
Man,
Well,
I know it.
I don't know. Jem, I hope that answered your question. I'm going to mute you right now. Next questions, please, guys. We got Celebrity Crypto 2. Probably going to ask something interesting. Celebrity Crypto, hello.
Hello, Benson. Hello, Rob. I hope you're doing
Oh,
well. I want to say, Rob, I love everything about your project, the presentation, how professional you are.
thank you.
All right.
That's the
Is that
best question ever.
yeah?
I
That's
want, hello, sorry. I
that's
want to
just
ask about, yes, I want to ask about the marketing side. What's your plans for long term in later the details, if you may, for the marketing side? And second, do you have any plans for exchange listing for the short term?
Yes, good questions. Nicole is 100% the tip of our spear when it comes to marketing. Now, we have the same vision. I will tell you that we look at marketing differently, and it's just our thing. We think outside the box. Marketing is a situational thing. It's not a plan. So as we evolve, the marketing would change. So, you know, that's why I think some people get into trouble. They say, oh, we're going to go out and market with this big influencer and this, but your project doesn't suit that. So we are suited for this platform. This is where we should be right now. We should be in this room right at this moment talking about it. This evolved, and we wouldn't have been able to do this 30 days ago. We weren't there yet. So this marketing strategy with this evolved to where we are today. Just like after Bloomberg, that will bring about a different marketing strategy. Marketing is always going to be a part of our everyday plan. It's going to be always in our mind, but we don't want to conform or lock into some generic or static marketing campaign just because we don't want to hear when marketing or what marketing. You know, we want this to evolve organically and nice, steady, slow growth. And we'll take a pump. I mean, not a problem. You know, we can sustain it. We've proven that. We've had a couple of 7x pumps and readjustments, a 10x pump and a readjustment. So we're good for that too, you know, but the slow, steady, methodical, the gaining 10, 12, you know, holders a day, and then we can readjust our marketing, you know, and that's what we do. Like, I know coming up, we have some things planned. We're this Saturday, we're on doing a summit with other groups that are like-minded with security, and we're going to, it's like a few hours long. So we're going to be a big part of that. Where they're going to do some different giveaways and different things. And we just want to get not necessarily, you know, the marketing message out or things of that nature. We just want to do more of this where we say, hey, we're here. We're not going away. We talk about our bounty program, you know, which in itself should be self-marketing. And we can't believe that it's not taken off like on CNN by now. We're paying a bounty for people's, you know, so, and as it gets out, I'm sure it will, you know, explode. And we're triple last month what we were the month before. So yes, our marketing is she's got like I said, the summit planned. I know we have a big magazine, double page magazine article coming out that, by the way, we didn't pay for. They donated because they like our project so much. They have 100,000. It's just a small Australian magazine, and they have 100,000 subscribers. They say that they're viewed online and through subscribers by 1 million people. They gave us 2 pages. They just want to do an expose on RugSeekers because they're tired of us being in the space. So that's an evolution type thing too, right? We never saw that coming. We have a couple other agreements with another magazine that's U.S. based and has a international circulation. And then TCG's got some big plans with advertising and marketing, and we're stamped on everything they own. You know, so that's a big partnership for a small market cap coin that has a, you know, a perfect mission statement for like us. So, you know, we're looking forward to that as well. You know, I got to tell you, lots of people have come to us too saying we want to farm your coin, and we've said no. So it's hard to do from a token owner standpoint to say no, we don't want you farming our coin. But if I don't like your project, you can't put my name on it. You know, I mean, I'm just sorry. You know, so that would hurt us. You know, marketing. But there again, it's that evolving thing. You know, so bear with us. The future's bright.
Yes, that sounds great for me. If you made the second part of my question about the exchange listing.
Oh, exchange. Yeah, right now it's just a matter of we have some exchanges that approached us, and right now it's a matter of money, volume, and holders. That's it. We've got to save some money to pay for some of that stuff because they all want money, and we're not really volume wise where they like you to be as far as the number of holders we have. They like 5,000. Every one of them like the 5,000 holder number, 3,000 minimum, and we're at 2. So as we grow, yes, more exchanges become available. We do have tokenomics, so we're not available on, crypto.com or whatnot, but there are things like Bitmart and, different exchanges that certainly are an option. KuCoin, so we've talked to some bigger players. So we're on their radar. They have approached us instead of vice versa. So we just have to kind of conform to their protocol, and we'll be there. So buy some seek and help us out with numbers, and we'll get there.
Yes, thank you. That's great. Thank you, Rob. I wish you the best.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely. Let's get into one more question, then we'll just round it up for today. We got Lewis around. Hi, Lewis.
Hello, guys. Hi, Benson and Rob. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was very interesting. I know you are very good professionals, but I think mistakes can always happen. So will your company assume the risk if there is a mistaken analysis and we end up getting scammed at the end of the day?
Very simply, no. And the reason I say that is that, we don't guarantee or certify anyone. What we say is this: we give a risk assessment, okay, which we think, my opinion, and a proven opinion, right, that not just a hypothesis, actual have data. I think that you're better off with my opinion than without it. But however, RugSeekers is still a system, right? We are still a system. And these people evolve constantly. The reason that some of our software isn't public and we use it privately is because we've seen other people like SafeU write and spend thousands of dollars on new scanners to be obsolete in 3 days. Because the scammers now know what they're doing and they change their code, they change their things, and now this multi-$1,000 scanner isn't worth $1. So we don't rely on scanners. They're just a tool. But when we factor all these things together, we can give you a better than you could do until the public's educated. We think you could do better. If you're a novice, you'll do better with RugSeekers than without. So, but no, I couldn't certify anyone. I can tell you this. I'll guarantee you, if you've invested in anything that I'm a dev on, I'll give you a 1,000 money back % guarantee. So I can guarantee that that's 100% safe. RugSeekers, the people may get sick of us, and investors may not like us, and we may go away in time. Who knows? But it won't ever be because of someone here has scammed or defrauded the public. I will be the last wallet out of this project, without a doubt. I've done it. You don't have to believe me. You don't know me. Don't have to believe me. Check my track record. Ask my team. Ask my holders what I did before. Ask the people that were with me on the last project, what I did. I went down with the ship, and that's exactly the mentality I have here. This will be brilliant with me at the helm, or I will be the last bag out, period.
Thank you so much. That was very clear. Very interesting project.
Thanks, Lewis.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Rob, I'm not going to take any more of your time. We're both busy men over here. We're going to get back to work as always, going to get back to keeping our people safe. We have a bunch of projects to vet tonight. We have about 300 requests, mostly Travis. Travis is the one that takes care of that, but you can imagine, vetting 300 different projects is mental.
No, it's
So, Rob, what can I say? Your project is looking insane. I'm very happy you came around. It was a great chat. Keep me posted, or
For sure.
just tell your CMO to keep me posted about anything you guys do, anything you guys bring in that might be like new features and stuff like that. And one thing that I wanted to tell you that I think might be cool, this is just my personal advice, is maybe getting like some NFTs with like badges of the projects that you call. Like for example, when you call the Squid Games, having like NFT, like unique NFT badges for the community, that'd be super cool. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
No, that would be
Um,
nice. That's a good idea.
yeah, I was thinking about it.
Nicole, see there again, man. You and Nicole, you talked to Nicole behind my back, I think, because you said some of the things about.
Sweet. No, Rob, thank you so much. You're a great sport.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, and thank you for having me. And you guys are great. And stop by and see us and pick up a little bit. I couldn't go back and face Nicole if I didn't at least say come buy a bag of Seek.
Definitely, guys. Take deep look into this one. Join their channel. They are super active there. You're gonna have a great time. We're gonna feel like literally family. In regards to the project, long-term investment. If you invest in this, don't try and take quick profit. This is going to be steady growth in the next months, in the next years. These guys are going to keep going. So definitely a long-term investment. Do your own research. Check them out. Once again, Rob, thank you so much for bringing
One final thing
quality.
I forgot to mention. I can't get off without saying I'm sorry. I know we were wrapping up right there, but DBT, the Disco Burn, is a token. We're one of our sisters that we're kind of associated with, and December 1st they'll be buying and burning a large amount of Seek. In the tune of right now, it looks like close to $40,000. So that'll be done live in Las Vegas. So, and that's going to be done also monthly. And they're a big part of our ecosystem. And I didn't plug them out, and I kind of feel bad about it because I get long-winded. But they are a part of us, and they are definitely into all the safe community. But they'll be buying and burning a big portion of Seek at the first of the month, as well as Dior, and then one other project to be voted by the community. So. Come over and check us out and look at that, and then get ready for that big buy and burn.
Great. We'll definitely be updated. Guys, take a look. Join them right now. I'm not going to say it twice. You'll regret it in the future if you don't. As well as give a hand to DeFi to just keep the whole space more safe and lovely and caring. And Rob, thank you so much. You are a legend. I'll see you very soon, I'm sure.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too, bud.